Hey guys, I'm Tony with the Tony Johal real estate team. So let me ask you a question. Are you making the right offer to the prospect that you're sitting in front of? So what I mean by that is when someone already owns a home, for example, they know they have to sell their house and then buy another one. They already know that, unless they've openly told you they're going to keep it as an investment property, but they already know they have to sell one to buy the other. Now the question becomes, what's the order? Because the order matters. Because if someone is interested in buying their next home first, which is probably the majority of the population, they're quite happy where they are, but their preference is to get something bigger, to get something smaller, but ultimately they know that they're looking at selling their home and then buying this other home at some point, but they're comfortable where they are. And comfort is the enemy of motivation. So what we have to figure out is what is more important to them. Is it going out there and finding something else first, or is it selling their existing home first? Because you can be sitting there face to face with this client and you can be talking about your listing presentation, you can be talking about your track record, you can be talking about all the wonderful things that you do to market their house, when really they're not fully there. They're not fully concerned about that at this point. They may just be concerned about, well, if I sell this, where am I going to move to? So I think a lot of people are, knocking on doors. Are you looking at selling your home yet? Well, think about if you've ever door knocked before, and you've door knocked somebody's door, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later or a month later or 6 months later, you see 2 or 3 homes on that street for sale, and you're like, I door knocked that whole street. Well, you probably made the wrong offer. Instead of knocking and asking if somebody's interested in a free home evaluation, ask them if they're planning on staying in the area. And if you were to move, when do you think that might be? If you were to move, what type of home would you move into? Talk about what's important to them, which is not necessarily selling this home. A lot of sellers right now have a lot of confidence that their home is going to sell. Their issue right now is, where am I going to go? So make sure you're always finding out, are you planning on selling your existing home first, or are you planning on buying your next home first? I understand you may want to do both at the same time, but listen, looking within that process, one comes before the other. So let's talk about which one needs to come first. So those are the kind of things that I share with my team. It's just an important conversation to have, because without that intel, you could be making the wrong offer to a motivated prospect. I hope that helps, guys. If there's anything I can ever do for you, please reach out. See ya.